All right, Matt Kissane here. We are on Chicago's West Side at Fitzgerald's nightclub. Very famous place where all the big bands have played over the years. And tonight we're going to be hanging out with legendary lounge act Tony Ocean, who is releasing his new CD called Me and Mrs. Jones. And we're going to go hang out with Tony right now. So let's go on in, Fitzgerald. Check it out.
We both know that it's wrong. Oh, so much better, God, kill it.
All right, we are here backstage at Fitzgerald's. I'm looking for my old buddy, Tony Ocean. I think I hear him. There he is. He's hanging out backstage at Fitzgerald's. How are you, buddy?
Good. How you guys?
We're here with the great Tony Ocean, everybody. What the heck are you doing here?
Well, we're having our record release party. It's called Me and Mrs. Jones on Nation Records. It comes out today. So we're having our party here at Fitzgerald's. Bill and the crew here.
Very nice. You guys ready to rock and roll?
Ready to have some fun. Should be interesting.
Tell us a little bit about the CD. What are some of your favorite songs on there?
Well, the CD's a little changed from my stuff we've done in the past. Most of my stuff I've done in the past has always been like traditional Sinatra stuff and stuff like that. But now we're doing some great pop love songs. That's what we're trying to do right now. And one of my favorites has to be You and I Belong, Me and Mrs. Jones, obviously. And then Be Honest is one of my favorites. But it's great.
All right. Now, Tony Ocean, we're going to ask you what your 5 favorite songs of all time are to perform live in concert. So why don't you go ahead and think about your 5 favorite songs. What would they be?
Me and Mrs. Jones off the new CD.
Okay. Me and Mrs. Jones, number 1.
Number 1. Number 2 would have to be Ain't That a Kick in the Head by Dean Martin.
Ain't That a Kick in the Head by Dean Martin. Okay. The great Dino.
Number 3 would be Summer Wind by Frank Sinatra.
Summer Wind, of course, a classic from the Pope of Greenwich Village.
Absolutely one of my favorite movies. Be Honest off the new CD as well.
Be Honest. Now, is that an original? Who did that one?
Actually, it was written by 2 country guys here in Chicago, and they some great country song. And what we did was turn it into flavor that I like, and it's probably one of my favorite love songs. It's got like a Journey, Survivor type feel to it, but it's very cool. So that's my 4th one, and then
and number 5, ladies and gentlemen, your 5th favorite song to do, Tony Ocean.
Would have to be That's Amore.
That's Amore by the great
Dean Martin.
Dean Martin once again. Okay, so Dino's in the top 5 twice there. All right, now we all know that you at least were a great cigar smoker.
Still am.
And are you still?
Yes, sir.
Your favorite cigar shop in Chicago, Tony Ocean, would be?
My favorite cigar shop in Chicago.
Or the suburbs,
In the suburbs.
Chicagoland area.
Binny's.
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 Where's that at?
Shop in Schaumburg.
Schaumburg. Okay. Get all your favorite stuff there?
All my stuff there.
Favorite cigar?
Favorite cigar is an HB Upman
Okay, who makes that?
one. La Unica, if I'm correct.
All right, very nice. Very good. Favorite Italian restaurant?
Besides my mother's kitchen,
Besides your mom's kitchen in Elmwood Park.
I would have to say my favorite, I'm going to get in trouble if I don't answer this right. I'd have to say my favorite Italian restaurant.
It's okay to have a tie. It's okay if you have a tie. Even a 3-way tie. I don't want you to get in trouble either, because I would miss you.
In Chicago.
Chicagoland area.
Chicagoland area.
That's a Chicago show.
Mine would be El Cortil in New York. But in
Okay.
Chicago,
Is that on Mulberry Street?
yes, it is. I'm El.
Very nice.
But here in Chicago, I'd have to say Sabatino's.
Sabatino's.
Great Italian restaurant.
Great plug. Now, where is Sabatino's at?
I think it's on Grand Avenue, but
Right.
don't quote me on that.
And it's actually in Chicago?
In Chicagoland, in the city of Chicago.
What do you think your favorite plate would be on the menu?
A ravioli.
Just the ravioli?
Yeah, with
Cheese?
meat sauce.
Meat sauce with, what's it filled with? Cheese or meat?
Cheese, meat.
Okay, very nice.
Jarnier on top.
Sabatino's. All right, now we're gonna go in the Wayback Machine right now. Tony Ocean, before he was Tony Ocean, was known as Maurizio Carrara, and he was the frontman for a great Cheap Trick cover band called Dream Police. Let's go back a little bit. Now, I remember that one of the very first times that I saw you guys, you played with the great Pete Comita.
Yeah, who took over Tom Peterson's spot when he left the band
Yes.
before John Brandt came in.
Very nice. Now, the great Pete Comita played what song with you guys at Traffic Jam?
One of the ones he wrote for the
Heavy metal soundtrack.
soundtrack, Reach Out and Take It.
Reach Out, which, now if you go online, if you go on YouTube and type in Moe's Dream Police, Reach Out, you can actually see Pete Comita playing with Tony Ocean here. It's the truth. Okay, the Pack is Back was a great show. I got to say, for my money, probably one of the best theater experiences that I ever had. And I've seen a lot of theater, man. Now, you play the great Dean Martin, and the other gentleman in the play, I remember Mark Fensky was Jerry Lewis' lady. Okay.
Jerry Lewis, right?
Who else was in that show?
Ron Hawking.
Ron Hawking was Sinatra, and you had Sammy.
And Sammy was Lonnie Parler.
Sammy Man.
The original. And then later, Ron Hawking left the show, and we did something with Bill Acosta for a while. The great jazz, great Bobby Caldwell came in.
Bobby, I saw that show, too.
Bobby Caldwell came in and played Sinatra.
He was excellent.
And then the guy that, one of my favorites is the guy I'm with now, Jack D'Amico.
Very nice. Jack D'Amico. Now, you guys still are doing the Rat Pack stuff around the country, all over the place, right? You guys can still go out and see you do.
Maybe 40 shows a year.
Very nice. Oh, wait a minute. I already asked you that. I was going to ask you about your new CD, but we already asked you that stuff. Is there anything you want to plug or anything? Or?
Just a new CD called Me and Mrs. Jones on Nation Records. You can check us out at www.tonyocean.net or at Facebook.
TonyOcean.net. He's also on Facebook. Check him out, folks. The great Tony Ocean here at Fitzgerald's tonight. We're going to go check him out. We're going to get some live footage coming up. So stick around, folks. We'll take a little break right now. Don't go anywhere. Thank you, Mr. Ocean. Always great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we're at the bar with Camille, one of the bartenders at Fitzgerald. She's been here for 17 years. Camille, how the heck are you?
I'm great, thank you.
All right, I'm great. Tell us a little bit about working here. Tell me one of your favorite stories about working at Fitzgerald's.
I won't name the band, but their sound man, the last time they played here, tipped me with condoms.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like. Was that off Broadway?
No, it was not off Broadway.
All right.
I couldn't say it if it was.
Thank you, Camille. You are a lovely bartender. Come by Fitzgerald's and say hi to Camille, will you guys?
Say hi.
Say hi. All right. Thank you very much, Camille. What's that? Guess what? I just ran into Bill Fitzgerald from Fitzgerald's Bar in Berwyn, Illinois. Bill is a legend and the owner of Fitzgerald's. And, Bill, I understand that you guys are celebrating the 29th anniversary of Fitzgerald's this December. Is that true?
Right. It's coming up on December 18th. What a terrible time to open a club the week before Christmas. But
now, let me ask you a question before I forget this one. Do you remember your first band that ever played here?
Oh, absolutely. It was a group of jazz musicians that I met down in the city at Andy's, and John Defoe was the leader of the band, and he put a wonderful group together with Eric Schneider was the lead sax player, and it was a 5-piece jazz band, Truck Parham on bass. It was wonderful. So we started out with jazz every Friday night.
You guys were sort of more of a jazz type place, and then you kind of switched over to rock and roll a little bit?
Yeah, we started out with jazz. Before you know it, we'd have an Irish band here, or a bluegrass group, or some local people in the neighborhood said, "Hey, can we play there on a Wednesday?" And we said, "Sure." And then before you know it, you start advertising in the reader. Bands and agents see that you're there, and the phone starts to ring, and then we really started to diversify.
When did you guys really start building up a big following and have bigger bands and bigger crowds and stuff like that? When did that start to happen for you?
No, it didn't take long at all. I would say after 3 or 4 months of being open, we started having solid weekends of Chicago bar bands that would really draw quite well here.
Now you guys have also had a few movies shot here. Name some of the famous movies that have been shot here.
Well, the biggies are Color of Money, League of Their Own with Madonna and Tom Hanks. Recently, The Express, about the Heisman Trophy football player.
Adventures in Babysitting.
Adventures in Babysitting. And there's a film called Blink, which is sort of a murder mystery with Aidan Quinn and Madeline Stowe.
I remember that one.
Yeah. So those are the big ones.
Happy anniversary, Bill. Thank you so much for letting us do this. Again, another Chicago legend from Berwyn, Illinois, Bill Fitzgerald, owner of Fitzgerald's Nightclub. We're here at the Tony Ocean CD release party, and we'll be right back, folks. Stick around.
For us to believe in, baby. Hurt so much, hurt so much, hurt so much.